Hey everyone, Trading Hawk here with another video. In today's recap, I'm going to go over how we're able to make a good trade in a choppy market and how this chop actually presented us with opportunity. So before I start, you're looking at my internals and the ES futures. This peachy line is the VWAP, and the red zone is my resistance zone that I recap and plan the night before in the chat room, and the green line is going to be our support zones. On the left we have the volt. This is the volume versus up volume versus down volume on the NYSE. This is your breadth, and this is the advanced decline with your tick. Advanced decline, this is the net advancers versus decliners on the NYSE. And this is your net upticks versus net downticks on the NYSE. So these are your internals, and this is your ES. So coming into the day, we saw that we had a big gap up, and I said 2911 to 2915 was the first support. Watch for this level to hold if internals are holding up and are strong. If internals are weak, next support is 2903.5 to 2900. First resistance is going to be 2926 to 2928.5. I would not expect this market to go much higher than this with the gap up we're having. Much of the upside potential has already been used up, but there still is high odds we balance between first support and first resistance if the internals are holding up. So we come into the day, and our moderator gets long at 7:13 Pacific at 2916.25. He said the tick is looking good, advanced decline is strong, and there are bids popping up ahead of support. I am pretty sure he was looking at footprint for this one, but if you look at the charts, we can see at 7:13 a.m. right here, we come down to test the first support zone after pulling back just over 10 points on the ES. Our tick low of day at this point is just about negative 200. Our advanced decline is holding above plus 1500, and our breadth off the open was 4 to 1 positive, and down here it was still 3 to 1 positive. So Marcus gets long, and for the bids popping up at support, he saw this. He saw we came down to support and we had buy and balance after buy and balance with bids holding below it. So Marcus gets long at 2916.25, and I also get long at 2916.5 with a 2-point stop below 2914.5. I said I'm selling one half at the 50% retracement at 2921 just in case we only get a small bounce and then start to fill the gap to the downside. You want to have some money locked in. I said I'm not expecting this market to go trend, just playing it back to the top of the range. My final target will be near the high of day at the first resistance. So at 7:27, Marcus the moderator sells one half for plus 5 points at 2920.25 ahead of the 50% retracement zone. He said, we'll re-add if it comes back in. Internals are looking good still. Would be surprising if the market broke the low and started to fill the gap at this point, just seeing it as a ping pong day. That's at 7:27 a.m. At 7:27 a.m., Marcus sells right here, and this is going to be the 50% or so retracement just below it, and he sold half this position from 2916s, and he got plus 2R on that first scale out. Going back to the chat, I was at 21 for the first half. I did not get filled. That was at 7:32 a.m. I'm still sitting there. Should retest the highs in my opinion. Buying is still strong. Look at the tick. That was at 7:32 a.m. Look at the internals. At 7:30 a.m., when we pull back from 21 down to 18, just under 3 points. The tick was holding above 0. The buying internally was still strong. There were no real sellers in this market that were able to take control. The buyers had control. Going back into the chat, at 7:36 a.m., I got the fill at 21 for plus 4.5, just over 2R on my first scale out. At 8:18 a.m., pushed over the highs, and I said, watch how it reacts. If it starts to fail, you need to sell the position and sit on cash. I can't flip short though, because personally for me, with this market strength, and internal is very strong, I don't want to go against a strong market. And then I said, trying to fade the main direction on the day is like trying to pick up a $1 bill off the floor in front of a sumo wrestler. 8:27 a.m., Marcus sold his last half at 2925.25. He said he did not like how we're not getting any follow through above the high. That was at 8:27 a.m. So Marcus saw that we're above the opening range high with no follow through, and we're actually peaking out at first resistance. We thought the market would come back in and retest the midpoint before going up or down. So we locked in profits here, not expecting this to happen. When this happened, we did not care. We're playing the odds, and the high odds play was to lock in the profits because at this point the market was topping out above the high of Zay, and it could have been a bull trap, and it could have came back down and retested to low 20s. So I sold 2925.5 as well. I did not like the action above the high of day, and I said I would not be surprised to see this market pull a bit. And then Marcus said, sure, it's very tempting here, but need to stick to the rules. He had a nice morning. He left, and he got plus 4R on his second scale out. And if you look at the market, it did eventually come back in and pull a few off the high before resuming higher. So the main thing to take away was you must come into the market with a plan and be prepared. If you aren't prepared, you'll miss the opportunity as it can come and go in the flash. We take profit when we see something that we don't like and when the market is starting to work against us. We don't care if the market works out in our direction after we exited the trade. We are here to make money and not gamble. If you like what you see, please leave a like, and I can do these every single day. If you want to join the trading room, you can DM me on Twitter at @TheTradingHawk, and I'll be happy to have you in the room, where I'm on the mic from 6:30 a.m. Pacific until 9 a.m. Pacific for 2.5 hours. And I wish you all a wonderful night.